So I recently discovered this ridiculous video about this obese cat who's addicted to food, and his owner, whose personal bad habits and lack of awareness surrounding her own life is making the cat fat without her realizing it.
Which is a death sentence. And if Elvis doesn't lose weight, he's not going to be around anymore.
So I figured we talk about it. It's both infuriating and heartwarming, and it has multiple levels of weight loss, so I thought you guys would enjoy it. Also, I got adult braces. I have a light lisp, and although I'm hoping it's not too noticeable here, I feel like on the microphone, like for voiceovers, it would be, the microphone hears all. So I'm trying to do more casual content. I've been killing myself making these type of videos that I feel like people don't even want to watch. Like, who the heck wants to watch a video on old people? Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to make more casual content. I have adult braces now. Let's get into the video. But before we get into it, this video is sponsored by Buildbar. One of my favorite things about Buildbar is the chewiness. I feel like a lot of protein bars are kind of chalky usually, but Buildbar is so chewy, and I was actually a little bit concerned about this when I got my braces because chewiness is something that you're not supposed to have anymore. However they did it, I really feel like they've changed the game in terms of protein. If you were not told that this was a protein bar, you'd have no idea, because the protein is like, it's completely hidden. I'm gonna try and show you the chewiness of them by ripping it up. Check it. They're seriously so chewy, they're so good. Give Built Bar a try. Also, I'm back living that calorie deficit life, and I have to say, I also appreciate that most of these bars are 130 calories. A normal protein bar is like what, like 210, 250? That extra 100 calories, that counts when you're on a calorie deficit. Another thing I love about Built Bars. If you're interested in trying Built Bar, click the link in the description box and use code Kiana10 to try Built Bar today. And back to the video.
I wish Elvis would run around and be like a normal cat, but he's so lazy he does nothing.
The show is called My Cat from Hell, featuring cat behaviorist Jackson Galaxy, who drives around the country fixing people's problematic cats.
I'm on my way to go meet Rachel and Ted and Rachel's son Ben and their cat Elvis. Elvis is huge. I mean, he's a true food addict.
Jackson's our only hope.
I don't know if there's any hope for this cat.
Now, usually the cats on this show are vicious and attacking their owners, but in this case, the cat's only crime seems to be being overweight. So we meet the family.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Ben, too.
I'm Ted.
Ted?
I'm Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Why did you have me come out here?
My dad wants to get rid of Elvis. He doesn't do anything. He's a big, fat cat.
The cat snores so loudly, he has sleep apnea. He wakes the baby up because he's so hungry.
He wakes my dad up every single day.
Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like none of this is that big of a deal that it warrants calling this guy into your house. Is this it?
And the worst part is when we're eating, he's underfoot begging and he's getting in the way.
Yep, that's the only reason I called him in.
The worst part is when we're eating, he's underfoot begging and he's getting in the way.
Okay, let's just do a quick recap of what the other cats on this show are like and the reasons people usually call Jackson Galaxy.
Can I just touch it? No? Ow. Whoa.
Hey.
See, who's worked with him for 4 years, often has... Ow! Ow!
And yet the owners are usually bawling their eyes out and will do anything to keep them. And that's on Fatphobia. Just kidding.
Obviously, Elvis eats a lot, but what are his favorite things to eat?
Donuts, potato chips.
Turkey, bread.
Crackers.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that one.
Oh, that darned Elvis helping himself to donuts and chips again. Unless he's one of these cats.
Bullshit.
I feel like it's probably your fault if your cat's eating those things. You can't make this face. It's definitely you.
So when was the last time he was at the vet?
3 years ago. The doctor took one look at me and said, I'm the problem.
Now, I know it's about to sound like some medical fat phobia here, which is a real thing. But it's time to play a game I like to call, is it fat phobia or is it just true?
Talk to me about that.
Well, because I'm big,
Okay.
which is kind of true. Whenever I eat a meal, he gets some too.
It's just true. Now, in this instance, Rachel is the primary caretaker of Elvis. And obviously, Elvis can't just roll up on a Dunkin' Donuts himself. So it kind of has to be her. Not to mention, the son's like 12 years old. And the dad gives literally no fucks about this cat.
I'm a dog person. I'd rather have a dog.
So if you had it your way, you wouldn't have a cat?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, you don't even hesitate, man.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all about this cat.
If a coyote got your cat, would you care?
Probably not.
Seriously?
Either that or you'll just die of obesity.
What is this guy's actual deal? All throughout the show, he's such a jerk. I'm sorry your wife fed your cat chips and donuts and now he's a food addict. Like, what do you want from him? He's an innocent animal.
And there's our boy. Hi, Elvis. Oh my God, he's huge.
So we finally meet little Elvis and see how bad the situation really is.
Being this severely overweight, a cat is destined for a litany of health issues. Diabetes, kidney failure, liver problems, the list goes on and on.
Elvis is so overweight that he doesn't even want to play with any of the toys that come out of Jackson Galaxy's guitar case of cat toys that he carries around. He's not even interested in regular treats. He is, however, interested in a donut, though.
What do I have for you? What is that? Are you really gonna go for this? Oh my God, he's eating the donut. Your cat's eating donuts. Unbelievable.
I'm so glad Jackson Galaxy's like pissed off about that. I actually like him so much. He's such like a genuine guy. Now, despite the fact that this cat is routinely eating donuts as a part of its diet and even prefers them to what appears to be a very high quality cat treat. As a cat owner, I can tell, and I feel like that is a high quality cat treat. And he's rejecting it for a donut. Despite these facts, the family, in particular Rachel, is utterly shocked that this cat is obese.
We are at 21 pounds.
Something I've come to realize about changing behavior and about just kind of people in general is that there's so much that goes on in our lives every single day that we're not aware of. Obviously, this is a really obvious example of something that can be such a major issue without even being recognized, but I think we all have our own versions of this that if we had a recording of ourselves for like 7 days would stick out like a sore thumb, and that might be obvious to everyone else, but that we can't see because we're somehow not really paying attention. And that could be because we're on autopilot via our habits or because we're in denial about what kind of a problem we might have.
I'm realizing how sick Elvis really is, and it's all setting in, and I'm so worried he's gonna die.
We're going to find out really soon, and Rachel is basically going to find out herself as well, that she has a serious issue of food that she's not addressing. But that is the root cause of Elvis's problem as well as her own.
Now, Rachel understands that there's a correlation between her own weight problem and the one that Elvis has. Feeding does not equal loving.
Yeah, and I
Right?
need to
Just
take
because-
ownership that I've been loving him to death, because for me, food is love.
It actually blows my mind and deeply triggers me when I see like fat activists talking about how emotional eating is like a totally healthy coping mechanism that people totally should use. It absolutely is not, and something like this, a cat becoming sick and obese, makes it so obvious, you know? Like when we add in all the politics of people's bodies and all that kind of stuff, it kind of blurs the line between what is and isn't okay. But I think on like just a pure behavioral basis, using food as a coping mechanism is not the healthiest way of dealing with your emotions. Clearly, we saw it with Tammy Slaton, and we see it now here. I don't know, sorry, I'm getting mad. You know I get mad with the fat activism stuff. Eating is one of the very first tools we discover as infants for soothing ourselves and regulating our nervous systems. It continues to be an effective tool for temporary soothing and regulation even into adulthood. Let's not demonize food as a coping tool. We use it because it works. I feel like we all know that there are so many things wrong with what she just said. Are you really suggesting that we should use the tools we use as babies, as adults? It works in the short term at the expense of the long term, which is something that as adults, we're supposed to be better at choosing between. What awful, awful advice. Holy fuck.
He doesn't have a full life to live. This will kill him. Without a doubt, this will kill him. He's gonna get diabetic, or his kidneys are gonna start shutting down, or he won't be able to walk anymore. I'm sorry.
I just don't want that to happen, you know? I want him to be a happy guy.
Anyway, the cat's weight loss journey begins, and everybody has to help out in the house. Rachel has to take him for walks, Ben has to play with him, and even Ted has to weigh him every single day. It's the journey to save Elvis's life.
I hope Jackson can work miracles, because I believe he's unfixable.
Man, can this guy just like dial back his hatred for this innocent animal just like a little bit? Just like a little bit. Like, you knew this was gonna be on TV, dude. Like, could you not just like take it down a notch? Has he ever met a cat before? Because even in the best case scenario, they pretty much just sleep and eat. Your cat is not that much different than every other cat. Be thankful your cat just has a food addiction that you caused. Anyway, at their 2-week weigh-in, they find out that the reason the cat has been useless is because he has actually had a host of illnesses this entire time.
He's got extra fat everywhere.
He's pre-diabetic, he has hip dysplasia, and his weight contributed to how severe it is. I immediately felt guilty.
I mean, I don't mean to be a jerk, but you probably should feel a bit guilty. I mean, you didn't notice that he had all of these illnesses?
How did it go with the walks?
Oh yeah, how did it go with the walk? Oh wow, you just set her up, didn't you?
Look at his face. This is the most genuine concern he's shown the entire show.
Oh wow.
Psych. Man, if this guy was my husband, I'd have emotional eating problems too.
We've been a few times.
What's a few?
We've been 3 times out of the 2 weeks.
And why?
Well, I don't have an excuse for that.
Now, you'd think that learning that your cat is obese because of decisions that you made would be the most motivating thing in the world. But I think in a lot of scenarios, when you feel extreme guilt or shame, as we've talked about before, it's the opposite. It's demotivating. It kind of creates this like failure feeling that makes it hard to be motivated or move forward when it seems like there's so far to go and that the problem is maybe unfixable.
It seemed like the doctor visit had a bit of a effect on you.
I felt like I've done now damage to my cat.
You guys really do associate food and love.
Yeah.
But as we've talked about now in multiple different videos, something like this and the feelings of shame and guilt that come with it can be extremely demotivating. And something as small as a daily walk can seem pointless in the face of a big problem, especially when the root of that problem is having food take up a love-sized hole in your life.
Oh, wow.
Which is one of the many reasons that food is not typically a healthy coping mechanism, which is actually something Jackson Galaxy can relate with because he used to be addicted to food too.
I want to show you something.
That's not you.
That's me.
No way.
That's me at 400 pounds. And I could not stop. I haven't shown that picture to people because there's a lot of shame associated with allowing yourself to get to that point.
Plot twist. I don't know, I'm just talking right now because I need to break up these clips, so.
I get high from it.
From food.
Yeah. I've never told anybody that. I've never told anybody that I get a euphoria from it. I don't want to have a problem. And Ben, I think, is sometimes sad that I have a problem. He knows I have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I feel bad because they're like clearly having like an emotional moment and she probably forgot for a second that she's on this show and like there's no way that they're gonna be like, you know, like she's gonna ask them after like, hey, could you guys not air that part? That was like a secret. And they're gonna be like, no, you signed the release, lady. We're airing it. Anyway, let's skip to the cute part. Will Rachel deal with her emotional eating problems? And will Elvis lose the weight he needs to live his best life? It's time for the final weigh-in.
First time I came here, Elvis weighed 21 pounds. Guys, 18 pounds.
Whoa!
Yay! Oh, I shouldn't have clapped. It's probably so loud.
Congratulations! Elvis is well on his way to his ideal weight of 14 pounds.
Check out his before and after. It's so cute.
For me personally, taking the responsibility of him walking made me realize how unhealthy I am and how unhealthy he is, and both of us just feel better. And our talk really made me think, and I've made some really good changes to my life.
Good.
Again, this is what I mean by lack of awareness. She did not even know how unhealthy she was. And I know personally, I've had times where I'm so unaware of what the heck's going on in my life that I had no idea how deep the hole I was digging was. I feel like mechanisms like these, such as lack of awareness in this scenario, are always at work in situations like these. And becoming aware of them is the single easiest thing anyone can do to work on that problem. But there's one more plot twist in this video that I have to show you.
Elvis and I have definitely bonded through this. I couldn't imagine rehoming him.
Jackson Galaxy is a miracle worker. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what it was. I'm just trying to make more casual content, so hopefully it was as good for you as it was for me when I watched it originally. Also, if you have not seen my last video on this insane story of a celebrity health scam that just kept getting worse, I really went down the rabbit hole on it, and honestly, I'm shocked at how insane the story turned out to be. It started with a scammy detox diet and became so much worse. It honestly blows my mind. So please go and check it out. I would love if you guys went and watched it. I think it's my best video. It has the longest watch time of any of my videos. So yes, please go check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. I will link it in the description box and in the pinned comment.